Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 77 on the Focus on Gaming podcast. I'm back. It feels like it's been forever. My first episode of 2025.
Yay! Hello.
Just me and Duncan this week. So,
The
me and
perils of
Tom.
parenting again strikes
The
again.
rumor is that me and Tom are the same person.
It's just me. All it is, I've just got over to my side. I've just got a studio. There's actually one of my hands and a puppet. You two are just a puppet somewhere.
Oh, an it, yeah.
I'm just really good at doing different voices.
Sometimes when you're feeling ambitious, you'll do both of me and Tom with either.
We do occasionally have a all three of us on.
We do.
Or maybe it's just you two just don't like each other.
Yeah, I do think when I say I'm going to be there, Tom does go quiet.
Well, maybe we'll have to look at which episodes get the most listens, and and just sack. Well, basically, if it's not exploding and we're not going viral, and I'm in every single episode, then the problem's me. So let us know in the comments, if you wish me to be thrown to the walls. But hopefully not.
Me and Tom have done one episode without you, haven't we?
There you go. That's it. And that was a very popular episode.
To be fair, so
and I do all the editing and recording.
I feel that's unfair on you, Duncan, to judge that episode.
It was well. That was an episode where the sound was all messed up, and it was an interview, so I had to then edit it for about 5 hours to try and get the audio to sound a bit better.
The joys of being an editor. Would you do this as a job, Duncan?
Oh God, no! If somebody paid me to do it, because right now I could go, do you know what? I don't fancy doing it, and go to bed. But if we've got a job, we want that within 3 hours. Although obviously I don't do very much editing. I literally just put the music before it, the music after it, and slap it on a website. Done. That oversimplifies it. It still takes about an hour and a half. With everything, typing everything out and stuff. But anyway, gaming. Welcome to 2025, Martin. Yes.
I know, it's been absolutely hectic. Hence why I haven't been here for.
Yes, career comes first.
But
parenting.
It's hopefully, touch wood, I'll be able to be here through and be able to be on the episode and actually be able to game some more. But I have done a little bit of gaming since.
Well, I mean, you are an Xbox hardware owner again, so you got Game Pass as well. So
Indiana Jones.
Yep, there you go. It's got to be played, I think, if you've got Game Pass. Now, I have completed it now. Yeah, so I can talk about the whole game. I won't. Is there any spoilers? I don't think there's no massive twists or anything like that. So, I mean, I'll try not to spoil the story, but there's no big plot twist. No. I think this is set. I think it's set after Temple of Doom, is it? Or it's after one of these. Or after The Last Crusade. It's after one of these. One of the original 3 films that is when it's based. Because obviously in the Dial of Destiny that's been out, he literally, I think Harrison Ford is 80 now. So I don't think it's based around then, because this is a young one. But isn't the voice fantastic? Was it Troy Baker, isn't it, who does the voice?
I would have known that it wasn't Harrison Ford.
Exactly. I when I first saw the trailer, when they announced it, or did the first gameplay trailer, I was like, oh, wow, it's really good that they've got Harrison Ford to get in. And somebody went, no, it's Troy Baker. I'm like, what? It is brilliant sound alike. I'm just going to check it is Troy Baker, but I believe it is. And what... Of course, you've got a Series S as well. So how are the visuals on the Series S?
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing it on the cloud.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's good.
so, and
You still only get 1080p with that, which I don't think. I think it would probably still only be 1440p on the Series X, but yeah. But is it a game that you would say is,
yeah. So I mean, I'm very much.
It's
We
pretty-
had a brief chat, didn't we, before, and
Hmm.
I'm very much at the beginning still. So I enjoyed the opening sort of scene because I think that was like the Raiders of the Lost
It
Ark.
was the Raiders of the Lost Ark because my stepson started playing it, and we actually watched Raiders of the Lost Ark yesterday because we worked out he'd never seen it at 14. So we watched that, and he was like, "Oh, yeah, this is the beginning of the game." I'm like, "No, the game is the beginning of this. This is 1981."
I mean, you were young in 1981.
I was 3. Yeah, I mean, the first one I saw that I remembered was Temple of Doom. Which came out in 1984. So probably back in those days, you did have to wait 1 or 2 years for them to come out. Even at the cinema, they used to be sort of 6 months after they'd been out in the US, kind of thing, because they literally would ship over the films. So you do as the tutorial, don't you? You do the scene with the giant ball, and Alfred Molina, of course, who gets brutally skewered by some spikes after betraying you.
Trying to take the
Golden idol. Yeah.
heading. But yeah, I liked it. Yeah, so far, yeah, I'm in Vatican City right at the beginning of that bit. So that just shows if you played the game, then that just shows sort of how.
Yeah, well, you're in the place that, because I was used to it by the end of it, the Vatican was probably the place I spent the most time. Because you're still learning a lot. It doesn't actually tell you a lot of the little things. Like at the beginning, I was absolutely like getting crushed with the fighting. And once I learned how the fighting worked, it's really easy. It's not
I
hard.
tried to do it as stealthily as possible, but there are
Yeah,
times,
you will stealth most of the time.
like the one time where I did struggle because there were times where I tried to be stealthily and then or stealthy, sorry, I should say, and then someone sees me and it ends up being like a really bad fist fight. I've been alright with, but the times where I have struggled when there's like loads of them. So
Yeah.
there was one bit where he had a dog and the dog barks, and then you're like,
you have to whack the buttons, the triggers, don't you, to get the dog off.
Yeah, and that's the only time where I've died in combat, but I'm still very much at the beginning of the game, so I probably will die.
One could say you have to whack the dog off to carry on.
But no, there was. I think there was a bit before you go to the Vatican where you're collecting your stuff, the suitcase. There was one bit, and I was like, I don't know, like it was like on a clipboard in the room. I think you had to get like a photograph, but it doesn't it wasn't like sort of telling me. Like there was a lot where they let you work it out, sort of thing. So.
Yeah, even on the easy level, I can't remember what they're called now, but there's like an easy level and a hard level. The hard level doesn't really tell you anything. I did like having the easy level gives you more of a sort of gradual direction, like go to this window, jump in here, climb up here, kind of thing. Whereas the hard level, you can get rid of that, and then you can get rid of like the white markers where you can climb, so it can be a bit more of a mystery where you've got to climb. I sort of did some with the harder level, but mostly I had it on easy because the puzzles themselves don't get any easier. It's just that things like the fighting and the traverse and the stealth gets a little easier. But one thing I would say with the Vatican and all the other levels, there is a boxing area in each level, and once you find them, you get a mission to find a uniform. In each area, those uniforms make the game a lot simpler because you could just wander in, and there's a lot less people who will notice you. So you can wander into the Nazi areas, the fascist areas, and all this kind of thing. And yeah, you might have somebody that notices you, but you can just run past them quickly and you're fine. So yeah, find the boxing areas. You do have to go a little bit through the story to unlock the area where you can find the costume, the uniform. But that is one recommendation I would have. Do that.
Thanks for the tip on some ways in the game. But yeah, I did play the other day. So I was in my gaming area is in my kitchen at the moment. My children were in there. And I was like, I fancy like playing a game, but obviously you can't play certain games when they're in there. I can't really get Grand Theft Auto or whatever.
Get out! Daddy wants to masturbate.
Resident Evil or something like that, where they're gonna have like nightmares. So I put on Spyro the Dragon because I thought, well, that's quite a nice child-friendly game.
Yeah.
And I haven't because I played the remasters of the Crash Bandicoot, and I haven't with Spyro. So I'm pleasantly surprised. I mean, it was I thought it was the first one, Spyro 1, and I was just getting the bit where you were like, all the dragons are frozen and you're just going around finding them. But yeah, it's quite enjoyable. And then I've got on an air balloon. I've gone to somewhere else, but then I was like, I probably should stop now because I probably should start being a dad again rather than just watching me play Spyro the Dragon. And they quite liked it because my son likes
the fish roast one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, my son likes dragons, and my daughter, she was just finding it quite interesting as well. So
I played a bit of that. I think I got to the third world or area or whatever, but it just got a bit too big and a bit too like the first area. You can move on once it's small enough that you can find all the frozen dragons quite easily. The second one, you don't have to find everything. You have to get a certain amount of coins. But then the third one, it's like, you've got to find 50 dragons. And it's like, you've only found sort of 10. So instead of finding 10 over 2 areas, you've suddenly got to find 40 of the buggers. And I'm like, I just can't be bothered with this. It was all right. I was doing a bit of it, but after playing for another hour, I think I'd only found sort of, 5 more. And it just got a bit too. You got to find every little nook and cranny. But no, it looks nice anyway. It looked nice, and if I wasn't such a miserable old bugger nowadays, I think I would have played more. Yeah, it's kind of game that I think I would have loved 25 years ago. But now, just if every world was the same as the first one, I could finish it in about 4 hours. Brilliant. or even if it had like lots of level, like 30 levels that were all like the first one. Brilliant. But not if it gets harder and harder and harder and harder and harder. I just want easy nowadays because I'm miserable and grumpy and cynical and such like.
No one's judging you. No one is.
Well, let's face it, a lot of people do. What have I been playing recently? Well, Indiana Jones, I completed it. There are a couple of bits in Indiana Jones that are very cinematic, like as in sort of wow, that they do have the real wow factor. And obviously, it does look good. What else have I been playing? Ever since Indiana Jones came out, there hasn't really been that much that's impressed me on Game Pass. So I've been going back to Hitman because Hitman, you've been able to kill Jean-Claude Van Damme over Christmas, and I think it might have actually finished now. But it's a DLC that you can buy access to as well. You can buy permanent access to the arcade version. So, and it's quite a funny mission. I don't know if you played Hitman. There is a Chinese level where there is like an underground It's like lab offices and all this kind of things where they research. And so in this version, Jean-Claude Van Damme is a former agent whose people have taken over this facility, and he's created clones of himself. So you have to go in and you have to kill Jean-Claude Van Damme and 13 clones of Jean-Claude Van Damme. They don't all look like him, but they're all got his DNA kind of thing. So yeah, it's quite funny. Jean-Claude Van Damme walks you around this place and talks and like really weird about stuff and about the fact that he's got loads of clones. And yeah, it's great fun killing him. Although the easiest way to kill him, because he just stays, once he's talked to everybody, he just stays in this office, and as long as you've got the right outfit, you can just walk up to him, press a button, and a bit like the Joker in The Dark Knight, just goes whack and whack his head on a pen. So yeah, I killed Jean-Claude Van Damme, and I would highly recommend if people have access to the elusive target of that one to do it, because you have to kill all 13 clones as well. And there's one that's in like this press that he's doing splits in, and this press can come in, so he doesn't have to do this clone is exercising, basically doing splits, and this horizontal press kind of thing can make it wider and thinner until you can either make it very much wider, there's flame at the bottom and he burns to death, or you can squish him. And there's so many funny ways that you can kill people in this one. It's quite good. It's one of their best elusive targets. The fact that it's Jean-Claude Van Damme, it just makes it, icing on the cake. It's very good. Yeah. Other than that, I mean, new things. What have I been playing? Well, it's even two games that came onto Game Pass recently. There's Carrion and Road 96 are both games that were previously on Game Pass. So Carrion, it's a Metroidvania, but you're the monster.
Yeah.
So it's good fun if you like a Metroidvania. It's quite satisfying going in and you just turn everything into viscera and blood and mist and stuff. It's good fun. I'd highly recommend it if you like that kind of thing. It's one that, again, a Metroidvania. See, again, now because I'm a grumpy old man, I get lost in them, or I'm like, I've just gone I played for half an hour, gone across the map, and then realise I have to go back over the other side of the map. I'm like, oh, but I just kind of just sit here and send somebody else to do it for me, kind of thing. And that's the thing with Metroidvanias. I'm back in the days of Turrican. Have you ever heard of Turrican?
No, I have heard of it, but I haven't played it.
Yeah, it was very old, like back in the days of Metroid. And I played that one to death. It was a fantastic Metroidvania, which it was, that term was around then, but it was a Metroid that was on things other than Nintendo. So yeah, but ever since probably the early 90s, I don't think I've really enjoyed any Metroidvania game. So no, Game Pass I haven't bought anything. No. My new year has not been anything new. Oh, and I played Rainbow Six Siege a bit as well, which I bought that when it came out. It was a full price game originally, and I played it to death. It's one of the few games that I've got 1,000 points gamer score that I'm actually proud of. That isn't just one that you can cheese and get really easily. Yes, Paw Patrol. But yeah, I remember for months and months. There's an achievement to get kill an opponent with a breach charge. So you have to put a breach charge on a window or a wall or something, and hope that somebody's behind it. And when you blow it up, kill them. And that one, I mean, I got all the rest within about 2 or 3 months. and that one just took me about another 6 months to get, and all my friends had it, and yeah. Eventually, I just remember screaming the place down when I got there. But that was on the original Xbox One, so that was quite a while. Yeah, it must be about eight or 9 years old now, that game. But it's all changed since I first played it. They've changed how the maps work. They've changed. I mean, they've added. I think there's about 40 attackers and 40 defenders now. Where I think when it originally released, there was like 8 defenders and 8 attackers. So I'm not very good at it anymore. I was never very good at it, but now I'm properly not good at it. So yeah, it's been a week of a week or two of catching up on games I haven't played for a while, which I like. I've been enjoying. Yeah, there you go. And there you are. So that's us playing not very much as usual on a gaming podcast.
I know. We're a gaming podcast that don't game. We just live off our past.
Well, at least we don't just sit there. We're not somebody who just sits and plays the same game over and over again.
No, they're all.
Did you get any of these annual, like PlayStation Unwrapped or Xbox stats? Did you get any of those?
No, I didn't look at them. No,
I looked at mine. I think I played 197 games on Xbox, which most of those probably were. Let's just try that for 5 minutes. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, never play it again. But I think I did. I think I got something like 600 hours of various games. So that's quite a lot. That's 2 hours. That's 2 hours a day, average. Oh, blimey! Was it 600 or 5? It's 5 or 600.
That's just on individual games. Oh.
That's on just on Xbox as well.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I thought you were saying individual games you were playing.
No, God, no. Oh, God of those days. That was just Xbox. I did also play quite a lot on PC, which Steam, I can't remember what I had on that, but I think Steam I'd even tried even more games. But that's because they're a lot easier to just sit and try a load of games. So 600 years, 2 hours a day on Xbox, and I'm pretty sure I was on a few hundred on Steam Deck. So I would say I've probably done about 800 or 900 hours of gaming this year.
600 hours is 25 days.
Oh, my goodness!
So if you just sat there for 25 days, that would be 600.
That's crazy, isn't it? It is crazy when you put it like that.
Then that would account when where you've paused it or whatever and left the game.
Yes, and also that does include my son playing, because it'll probably have times where I'm logged in, but I'm not necessarily playing, but it thinks I'm playing. Because I used to have it where I was game sharing with an Xbox that we had out the back, the Xbox One. So they had to log in as me to play on Xbox. We don't do that anymore, but yeah. So it'll include a lot of my son's gaming time as well. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking with it. So if the wife hears, there you go. That's a good excuse for any dads listening. Just say, "Oh yeah, no, I have to log in. I have to be logged in when the kids are playing." That's all. That's all that is. Especially if they're playing any games that let's just say might be age restricted on Steam. A lot of those are available. It must be the kids just finding games like that. I would never play a game like that. No, never. So, in news, what have we got? We've got there's an Xbox Developer Direct that's coming in soon. But they've revealed most of the games are going to be it, but there is going to be one mystery game. And we don't say, it's a mystery game. We don't know what it's going to be. There are rumors, though, that it might be the next Halo. Because obviously the Halo studio, the 343 are now called Halo Studios, I think. And they haven't actually released anything else. So, there's rumors that it'll be that. So would you be excited for a new Halo game? Or after Infinite,
I wasn't that impressed with. Well, I wouldn't say I wasn't impressed, but when you compare it to like the early Halos, it has gone downhill. I know it's a different developer and that, but I would play it. I don't know if I would be really excited for it, but I guess. And I guess you'll be able to make a.
I think open world took away the cinematic feel of Halo. I think that stopped it being, the cinematic sci-fi epic, and it just made it go, oh look, there's a base over there. Oh look, there's a base over there. Oh look, there's a cutscene. Oh look, there's another base over there. Great. Oh look, it's finished. And I think that was the problem with Infinite. There was some big showpiece, set piece kind of thing, but I think if they get back to their origins kind of thing, and maybe do what they did with Infinite and have a separate multiplayer section that just uses the engine kind of thing, and separate maps and all this. But if you do like Halo and you got a Switch, apparently there's rumours that Halo is coming to Switch 2, which is a massive coup for Nintendo, I think. Whether that means it's coming to PS5 as well, I don't know. But it's just rumours at the moment. But I think I think it could be just Master Chief Collection, but that'd be quite good. I think if Master Chief Collection came to Switch, but it's another nail in the Xbox exclusivity coffin.
Feels like Phil Spencer is working against Microsoft.
Hey, shareholders, I'm going to sell more by selling us. Okay.
Just want to give and give to the other developer, to the other company.
Indeed, he's a very giving man, is Phil.
Game is to be for everyone, but it's not reciprocated by Sony or Nintendo. He's very sat there thinking, I can't wait for Zelda and Mario and God of War and Last of Us all to be on Xbox.
So Sony is like their abusive boyfriend, isn't it? It's like, give me that, yeah. Can I have something? No.
And they'll complain about like Microsoft making things exclusive, and then they do it more than Microsoft. So,
Square Enix have announced that the Final Fantasy VII remakes are coming to Xbox, and they reckon as well that the two that are out so far, are coming to Switch 2 as well. So, but they're not Sony games, so it's just that nobody ever thought that they were actually going to come to Xbox. They were never sure, but they have confirmed that is true. But the Switch 2 is just rumoured at the moment. Of course, the Switch 2, which everybody and their mother has seen what they look like now, but they still haven't announced it. Well, we did actually ask you over Christmas. We asked for predictions. Now, Tom said it was going to be announced at Christmas, so in December, and then released in March. I said Christmas and April, January and April, and then we had Keith on the Facebook page guessed January announcement and a May release. So, do you agree with any of us?
Well, I've got the benefit of going after now, haven't they? So
Yeah, well, it hasn't been announced yet, so it could be announced. It's going to be sometime before the end of March. That's all we know because they've said it's going to be announced before the end of the financial year, which is March 31st for them.
all right, so that helps. Thank you. I reckon it will be announced in March
In March, okay.
and released in. When would it be?
Oh, are you going for a short release or a long release?
Yeah, I think it would make sense to like release it in like the summer or spring.
Mm.
Surely you would want to release it near the Christmas period, wouldn't you? If I was a company with a console, I'd be like,
I think they did originally. I think beginning of last year, you probably, if you could have been a fly on the wall, they would have been like, "Yeah, we're going to release it in December or November," and then probably whether it was supply, whether it was ironing out bugs or whatever. So come on then, March and
November. I'm going to say.
you're going to go for a very later one.
Yeah, I'm just looking when Nintendo Switch released. The Nintendo Switch was released in March.
Oh, maybe they'll do a.
Maybe I've made an absolute
shadow drop. That would be a very crazy thing, I think. Yeah, if they went on March, they went right. It's available now.
No,
and now, and there's just like one shop in the whole world that you can get them.
I made a grave error there with November, but I'll stick to it.
Live
by the sword, die by the sword.
I'm going to put that onto the Facebook post. It was a Facebook post from the 16th of December. And I'm going to put Martin's. So March announcements and November release. So that is the latest that anyone's guessed for the release.
Just want to be different.
That it could be perfectly right. We will wait and see. I mean, you do have, as you said, the benefit of hindsight, but only hindsight in the fact that there's so many leaks. It's got to be that they're ramping up production of things.
Yeah, I mean, you, Duncan, you need them to announce it.
Yep, I've got. Well, we're recording this on the 12th, so I've got 19 days for them to announce it, and I said April. So
Tom's gone. Tom's announcement's gone, so he's out.
Yeah, he's out with that.
His release might be right. So if his release is right, then he's got.
He said release March, April. Sorry, most likely March. I put release date April. There you go. Right, so that's our weekly Switch 2 is not released comment. So Xbox Developer Direct. We've already chatted about that, haven't we?
Some films.
Yeah. Horizon Zero Dawn. Have you played that? Have you played any of the Horizon games?
I have. Yeah, so that'll be interesting.
There's going to be a movie and Helldivers movie. Obviously,
I've played Helldivers.
It's very much. Have you seen Starship Troopers?
Yes, I do.
I think it's basically if you mix Starship Troopers with 1984, I think that kind of thing, and Donald Trump.
Wow.
And then you get basically the premise of, it's all sort of very fake patriotism kind of with bugs and sci-fi. So mostly like Starship Troopers. So in a way, it's going to be like Starship Troopers. I think there was a Starship Troopers 2, but Starship Troopers 3 then, if there was.
Straight to video.
We'll see. I mean, it's Sony. It's going to be a Sony.
No, I'm on about Starship Troopers 2.
Oh, probably. Oh, yes, probably. I mean, the thing is, the original Starship Troopers.
Troopers.
It it sort of flopped and then became more of a cult classic.
There is a lot of Star Trek Trooper films.
Starship Troopers 2, Hero of the Federation.
Star Trek Troopers 3, Marauder.
Oh,
Star Trek
Traitor of Mars.
Invasion.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, there's going to be a Starship Troopers, but skinned with Helldivers. And Horizon. See, Horizon Zero Dawn, I've tried to play that a few times on PC. I've got it on Steam Deck. And it's never really grabbed me. But I can see the story being absolutely fantastic as a movie. So I'm quite hopeful for that as a movie. I've got to the point where I'm like, with the game, I'm not bothered. But a movie, yeah, I think I'd be quite good at it. Who would you cast as what's her name?
On Horizon Dawn.
Yeah. Horizon. I can't remember what her name is now. Ion something like that.
I'm trying to think of red-headed actresses.
She is Alloy. That's the name of the character. So she's she's redhead, young. Obviously, she's meant to be like a teen, isn't she?
Is she?
Or an older teen. I don't think she's meant to be like 12. She's meant to be like 18, kind of 19. I think.
Hard paper round. She's 18.
Yeah, so don't worry if you fancy her. It's not weird. It's when people like start saying they fancy various RPG characters. You're like, dude, that girl's meant to be like 13. Is she? What do you think? She's wearing like schoolgirl's uniform or something like that. It's like, oh. Anyway, yeah. So I think she's meant to be legal. So, I don't know. I don't really know who I'd cast as her. Alloy. I'm just looking at her. She maybe if they gave her longer hair and Zendaya, maybe Zendaya. You know, from Spider-Man and.
I do.
Do you know Spider-Man's girlfriend in the most recent Spider-Man's?
No, I do know who Zendaya is. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's like different ethnicity, aren't they?
Well, I think she's a freckly ginger, but I don't know. I can't think of anybody that would be sort of looking like her.
That girl who would say, "You know nothing, Jon Snow." That one, I reckon.
The British one from Game of Thrones.
Through. She hasn't. I don't know if she's been in anything since the Game of Thrones.
Yes, no, I know who you mean. I'm just trying to think of her. Maisie Williams.
No, not Maisie Williams.
Maisie Williams.
She was Arya at the start, wasn't she?
I don't like Game of Thrones.
Okay, you know nothing.
Is that the redhead one? Do you mean?
Yeah.
Sophie Turner.
No, it's not Sophie Turner. So Rosie Leslie is her name. Rose Leslie is her name.
Rose Leslie.
She's
I mean, Karen Gillian is another, I suppose, another redhead that could actually be, who played Nebula in the films and was in Doctor Who. I'm just trying to Rose. Oh, God, blimey! There's a lot of people in Game of Thrones.
Rose Leslie.
I'm just looking her up. Rose Leslie. Oh yes, that one. I think you've hit the nail on the head there.
I know. Pretty impressed with myself there. A character who dressed and.
So she was Ygritte.
in
Game
He
of
was
Thrones?
one of those ones who lived on the other side of the. I can't remember what they used to call them, but they were like the ones.
I
that,
wouldn't
like,
have a clue.
humans.
According to this, she's been in Honeymoon, The Last Witch Hunter, Game of Thrones, and something called Morgan, whatever that is. But anyway, no, she's she actually looks like her in the picture that I'm looking at right now, where she's with what's his name, Kit Harington, Jon Snow, is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, perfect
Well,
casting there. Well
they
done.
just want it to look like her, and they're not don't really care about how good they are of an actress.
Well, Helldivers, obviously, it doesn't matter because they all wear helmets, but every single thing recently that's needed a helmet and is sci-fi, it's got to be Pedro Pascal, doesn't it, really? Because he's just in everything at the moment, isn't he? He's with some kind of helmet. So, what's it called? Mandalorian is the big one that he's in.
See, I was thinking of The Last of Us, and I was like, he don't wear a helmet.
No, he doesn't wear a helmet in that, no. But he is in every gaming thing as well.
Yeah.
So, there are two things. There was also a Sleeping Dogs movie, apparently, which was announced 6 years ago and has been officially is dead. Donnie Yen, who is obviously a very well-known martial arts actor and director and all sorts, has apparently been trying to get it made, and yeah, no, I think Hollywood said no. I'm afraid. And 6 years later, it is dead in the water. But Ghost
the game was so long ago that people just went over like.
Yeah, it's not one that's, if it was going straight to DVD kind of thing, if it was one of those and it was a low budget thing, then yeah, whatever, do it. We'll sell it to a few people and make the money back. But if you want to make a big budget thing out of it, not even a big budget, even a moderate budget thing, then yeah, like you said, it's, I think, about 2011 that game, 2012.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, nobody's thinking about that now.
Yeah, it wasn't that popular when it came out, was it?
No, it sort of flopped, but then became more successful the longer it was out. Again, came like a cult classic, and it was a really good game. It was GTA with almost Batman Arkham Asylum style rhythmic fighting. And yeah, it was a great game. Highly recommend it. I think it's available relatively cheap on most platforms. Yeah, I think I own it on PC and on Xbox. But yeah, highly recommend it. If you've never played it, get it on CD keys or something like that. Buy it for a few pence, and yeah, you'll love it. There's also Ghost of Tsushima is becoming an anime, so that could be, well, could have the same people as voiced the actual game. Although I presume it's one that has Japanese voicing. I haven't actually played it myself. And Steam Deck. I think Steam Deck just cries if you think about playing that. So I haven't. Yeah, I have no plans on playing it soon, but apparently it's quite good. Have you played it? So
I have. Yeah, I had it on PlayStation 4.
okay,
it was good.
And it looks beautiful. I've seen it on some high-end PC hardware, and wow, yes, it's looking good. But yeah, I shall be looking forward to an anime. Probably a lot of the gaming anime that's coming out recently has been Netflix, and I don't do Netflix anymore. So yeah, it's not something I'd resubscribe for though. So, on to new things. Lego are releasing a Game Boy, not a working Game Boy, but
Wouldn't it be impressive if it was working?
that would be cool, wouldn't it? I mean, there'll probably be somebody, won't there, who will It was made a
But-
Lego Game Boy.
I reckon you could make a Game Boy Color or something from Lego. I think easy enough.
Yeah, I mean so apparently there's no pictures or anything yet, but they have just said October 2025. So if you're a Lego fan and a Game Boy fan, yeah, save your pennies until then, and you will be able to get that. Now, I mean, there's so many Lego things nowadays. I mean, Horizon Zero Dawn was you can get Lego Horizon Zero Dawn now. Or what do they call it? Horizon Zero Adventures, I think, or something. It was only on the Switch and the PlayStation, though, not the Xbox, because screw the Xbox, eh? But I still don't get why it was on Switch and not on the Xbox. That confuses me. It's like if you've got an IP that you're protecting, then why put it on Nintendo's and not Xbox's?
Because they know that there will be no consequence from Phil Spencer.
He's their little bitch.
He'll do anything, and he'll still just give us every game.
He just open up the pit and go, "We're releasing a game on Nintendo Switch." Okay, sorry. There probably is some legal thing, isn't there? That Lego's got some kind
Yeah,
of
maybe Lego's got some sort of agreement with Nintendo.
Nintendo. You've got to release every game on our thing, and so PlayStation at some point probably went, "All right then." It did look good though. It looked like pretty good. I don't. Apparently, the reviews of it were mixed. Some people were saying it was fantastic. Some people saying it was one of the poorest Lego games of the last while. Generally, the Lego games for me are very hit and miss. Some of them I can't put them down. Like, have you played the Skywalker saga, Lego Star Wars?
No, the only Legos one I played are the Marvel ones, but
Okay, they're fantastic as well. I prefer the Marvel ones actually to the DC ones. Controversial, because the Batman ones are good, but for me the ones that got the Lego games popular were the Harry Potter ones, and they were fantastic. The Harry Potter ones, really liked them. But I own, I think between Steam and Xbox, probably at least 12 different Lego games, which sounds scary, but I've got most of them as bundles, like on Steam, or I got them from Games with Gold. A few times they gave away Lego games, so I own things like Indiana Jones 1 and 2, Pirates of the Caribbean. I didn't buy any of them; they just came with Games with Gold. But yeah, the Pirates of the Caribbean one is the worst one I've played, because there's so many times where I'll be like, I've no idea what I'm going to do, and it's really, really weird things you have to do, or it's not obvious, or you have to, use some power that, or ability that somebody's got that you forget that they've got. And it was the same with Lego Lord of the Rings, not Lego Hobbit. You'll have sometimes like 6 different hobbits who or dwarves that have all different powers, and you've got to remember which one will do it. Now the one who has the ability will quite often jump around going me kind of thing, but if they're all bunched up together, there'd be one jumping, and you try and swap to him, and you'd be like, I don't know which one it is, and you'd hold down the button, and it's like, well, that's just a picture of 6 guys with beards. I don't know which one's which. So it was a pain in the backside, the Hobbit one, but it was sort of open world, but not really. No. So if I was to pick one Lego game, it would probably be the Harry Potter ones. They were great.
Famous.
They
the ones that started that.
Yeah, because they released years 1 to 3, and then 1 to 4, and then 5 to 7 was like Harry Potter 2. But yeah, it just they were really good. And then Skywalker Saga as well gets an honourable mention because they'd obviously released Lego Star Wars 1, Lego Star Wars 2, and then Lego Star Wars 3, I think. I know there was a Batman 3. And then they came out with this Lego Skywalker Saga, and I just thought it was all 3 in 1. But then when they actually brought it to Game Pass, it's an absolutely fantastic open world. And you have different planets you can go to, different space stations, all sorts of missions and unlocks and all sorts of things that you can do. And to do it 100% would probably take you well over 100 hours, I would guess. Unless you're really focused and got like a spreadsheet or something stupid like that. But fantastic. If you're going to want to be impressed by a Lego game, get Lego Skywalker Saga. But if you want sort of just the true Lego experience, Lego Harry Potter, that's a great game. Any of them, any of them aren't going to be terrible.
I'm going through the list at the moment, and there's an Indiana Jones one. I think.
Yeah, there's two Indiana Jones ones, I think. Indiana Jones, because Indiana Jones as well. I remember that one came out on the Wii, and one of the very first software hacks for the Wii used the disc version of Lego Indiana Jones. Because my friend had a copy of it, and he was like, "I'm so glad I got a copy of this because I can hack my Wii now." I was like, "Okay, yeah." And we looked on eBay, and this was going back. This is probably going back 10 years or something, and they were going for £75 pounds plus kind of thing for a copy of a game that was at that point I think 4 years old or something like that. But that was because you could literally put it in, selected or go to. You had to go to a particular place and do a particular thing, and it would literally. I don't know what it did here. You had to in the game go to. It wasn't just something on the disc and then you plug something in the USB and it hacked it. It was you had to in the game go somewhere and select an option and do something, and then it would. I don't know, install something or download something or do something that meant that you could play any game you want for free. I think it was soon patched. So, yeah. Well, I think it was one of these ones that if you'd done it, it was fine, but if you hadn't done it, you couldn't do it then. Then again, nowadays a Wii isn't exactly hard to hack. Not that I'd give a link out to anybody, but if you want a Wii guide to hack, just Google it. It's very easy, but don't do it because don't pirate because legal.
Not to remote it, but want the Xbox, want Splinter Cell. I remember Splinter Cell being the equivalent. If you want, I think.
What is that? The original.
The original Xbox. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Splinter Cell hack. Xbox game save. Yeah, maybe. For this, you'll be using the Splinter Cell exploit. Okay.
Yeah, never really, but yeah, I just knew something about Splinter Cell and Xbox.
There you go. I mean, that's the original Xbox, which the Xbox and the Wii, even if you want to emulate them nowadays, you can emulate the Wii on pretty much a phone nowadays. It's so low powered. The original Xbox you can emulate on Steam Deck and all sorts. So, anything else we want to chat about? Assassin's Creed. Oh yeah, Assassin's Creed's been
delayed.
Shadows has been delayed again. Now, this was meant to come out in November, and it was postponed. They thought that not only did they want to get it more polished because of the Star Wars Outlaws, mixed reviews, let's say. They also didn't want to clash with Indiana Jones, so they put it to February the 14th. Nice little Valentine's Day present for some people, but now they've announced it's not coming out until March. But this is possibly because Ubisoft are looking at selling up. So their Tencent are circling, who already own 11%. And the Guillemot family or something still own Ubisoft. And yeah, they're looking at selling. So if Tencent buy them, that'll be another one that Tencent own. Although Tencent at the moment are also having a bit of a issue with, I think the US have deemed them a Chinese military-owned company. So what that means, I don't know, but I'm sure it means awkward things for them. So they might be a bit busy trying to sort that out. Yeah. But
not like Chinese-owned companies, do they?
Well, yeah, especially obviously next week is the day that the new administration comes in the US, so that should be fun. So if you do want to buy tech and everything from around the world, you're in the US, I'd buy it now before any T-words tariffs come in, because at the end of the day, they'll be paying for it. It won't be Donald Trump who'll be paying for it, and it won't be the American companies that will be paying for it. It'll be the customers. So hopefully won't bother us here in the UK because everything's made in China, and we'll go. Yeah, we'll have that at the same price as before. And oh no, iPhones might go to the US and be 25% more. And they're already bloody expensive. I don't want to iPhone, so I'm all good. Right. Well, on that note, I think we're all done for this week, aren't we?
Yeah, I don't think there is anything else.
It's been a bit quiet, really. I think we need to gaming news. I think we need to maybe have another special at some point. Yeah, maybe we can.
Before we go, apparently a tipster has has leaked when the Switch 2 is going to be announced. So I don't know how reliable it is, but apparently they're going to announce it on the January the 17th, and it will be released on March the 3rd. So I guess by our next episode, we'll know if that's true or not. Or is it...
Yes. So this is released on the 13th, recorded on the 12th. So that is Friday the 17th. Yeah. I did actually hear that a few places. Yeah, there's been a few, but that sounded like a more promising leak. Oh, so hopefully, if you listen to this the week of the 13th of January 2025, you've got 4 days.
Yeah, they've said some launch games as well, apparently. So Mario Kart 9.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Well, finally, yeah. I mean, hopefully it should. I mean, if that can work on the Steam Deck, it absolutely should be. Yeah, should be on.
A new 3D Mario game could be on the horizon. So, but we don't know. Hopefully, that's not true. Because,
so maybe next week will be an Nintendo Switch 2 announcement special.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's not true because my guess will be way off then.
Well, I mean, the announcement is a bit of a bye-bye. Doesn't really matter, but it's when it releases.
That's the 3rd. So
thing is, I mean, I've said April, and that's only 3 months. And I think having a 3-month window is pretty short. But same time, there'll be scalpers. There'll be scalpers everywhere, buying them all up and then selling them for God knows how much. So anybody listening to this, even if you've got loads of money, don't buy from scalpers, please. Help the rest of civilization out, and don't feed these greedy idiots. So, right.
All right. On that note, I think that's
on that note. Yeah. Good to have you back.
Thank you. Nice to be back in 2025.
Yay! Oh, it's episode 77. Blimey. Yeah. All the 77.
100 soon.
Oh, that's scary. So hang on, that's 23. What's that, about 4 months? 4.5 months. So when we get to episode 100, it can be hopefully it'll be a Nintendo Switch release special.
Might
you never know.
Right. All that time ago.
All right, so focusongaming.co.uk and go on our Facebook, like and subscribe, and yeah, on that note, bye.